Hi, I'm Nicole Swenson. I'm the Senior Habitat Programs Director for the Tyonek Tribal Conservation District, and I am here to talk about invasive plants. It is summertime now, and the invasive plants in our district are beginning to wake up. Invasive plants are a problem because they impact our ecosystems, sometimes agriculture, our recreation, and most importantly, the animals and plants that we depend on. So today we're going to talk about 4 common species that we have found in the district and what you can do if you find them. Okay, so the first species we're going to talk about is orange hawkweed. Orange hawkweed, just as the name says, is a bright orange reddish flower, and it can grow in clusters of 5 or 30 flowers on one plant. And it's easy to spot because there's not really many native species that have that color. We have found this in the district along Beluga airstrip and some yards in Beluga. We have not seen them in Tyonek yet, but it's just one little plane ride away to get into Tyonek. It's also been up in Squentna, also along the airstrip. These seeds blow in the wind, and they also get stuck on our cars, on the bottom of our feet, and can easily move to another area. That once they are there, they will completely take over a yard and then work into the native habitats. So it's an important species we've been working on in the district for a number of years. The next species we're going to talk about is white and yellow sweet clover. These plants they grow pretty tall, and you'll see in our picture they have either bright white or bright yellow flowers. They really love gravel bars and to be along roadsides, and we have found them both in Tyonek, Beluga, Squentna, and this is a species that really will work its way down a waterway and can impact spawning habitats. So it's also a species we've been focused on in the district. Oxeye daisy looks just like the daisy you're picturing in your head right now. Oxeye daisy, how we look for it in the field is the leaf kind of looks like a spoon. It's got a longer stem, and at the end looks like a spoon, a bulbous end. This also spreads along roadsides and works its way into the understory of forests and will really outcompete our native species. All right, the next species we're going to talk about is bird cherry or chokecherry, or some people call them Mayday trees, and their species name is Prunus patis. It's a beautiful tree, and it grows a bunch of white flowers that then makes a bunch of little tiny cherries that then birds will eat and then poop out somewhere else and grow some more trees. This has become a really big concern in the Anchorage area, and is found all along the riverways and our bike paths, and working its way up into the forest. There have been some found people planting them in the district because they were a pretty tree to plant. We didn't know they were invasive at the time, and some have been removed and some remain. This is a species that really impacts waterways. It will outcompete willow and even alder and change the ecosystem right next to the water, which changes which kind of insects are in the water that salmon are eating. Another thing that it has negative impacts on moose if there's cyanide compounds in the plant itself, and there have been a few moose calves that have died eating this plant because they have been poisoned. So this is a really aggressive species that we are really trying to work to stay out of the district and remove the ones that are there. And the state of Alaska has actually quarantined it and is not allowed to be sold in stores, but is still all around. So we're working together with agencies and partners to get rid of it. Well, first, it's really good to practice your identification skills, but you can also get some help with the Alaska Invasive ID app. And one critical thing is to note where you are, note the location, and take a really good picture, not a blurry picture, and preferably with something where you can tell the scale, so your foot is next to it or a pencil or something like that. You can also report invasive species to 1877 invasive without the E at the end, and that will report it to the Alaska Department of Fish and Game invasive species reporter and make it to the appropriate person. You can also send those pictures to us. We are part of the Alaska Invasive Species Partnership and know a lot of invasive species practitioners around the state, and if we need extra help, we can reach out. When TTCD was formed, one of the initial priorities was to investigate invasive species that were in the district. So in 2014 and 2015, we started documenting where invasive terrestrial plants and invasive weeds are across the district. We focused on the road systems and airstrips where they are most likely to be, and found, unfortunately, a few priority species in Beluga, some in Tyonek, Squentna, and Alexander Creek along the river up there. So we took that information, we worked with other experts in the field in the Alaska Invasive Species Partnership, and developed a management plan for those. We wanted to focus first on airstrips, because that is a place where we can contain an infestation instead of allowing it to get on somebody's shoe or their bag, throw it in a plane, and end up in another remote, more pristine area. So we focused our efforts there first. We would always prefer to use mechanical, so removing the plants physically as a method, but when infestations are really large and in certain species, it's just completely impractical and isn't going to get to our goals of eradication or management or containment. So since 2016, we have been working with herbicide along Beluga Airstrip and in Squentna to manage those infestations of orange hawkweed and oxeye daisy. And we've seen incredible progress, approximately 95% reduction in those populations, and now are just doing spot spraying where we find them. They'll come up from wind-blown seed or just sat in the seed bank, and so it's something that we have to stay on top of for quite a number of years. But the amount of herbicide we use gets really, really small throughout the years as there's not many plants. Where you can find this information on where invasive plants are in the district, we have a map on our website at ttc.org, and we update that annually to show where we have found invasive plants and what species they are if you're curious. We also submit data when possible to the Alaska Exotic Plant Information Clearinghouse, or AK-EPIC, and that's a data set that's Alaska-wide, and all partners put their data in that one place so we can collaborate and help each other on the various infestations across the state. You're also welcome to reach out to us whenever you need.